We're live. Welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to the show. This is Farmers in Finance. We're on episode 17. So, first of all, welcome again. Thank you for being here with me today. This is Farmers in Finance, episode 17. Whether you're joining me live or you're watching this as a replay at some point in the future, I truly appreciate you taking the time to be here with me today. This show today, again, I want to say that Gaurav is not going to join us today. He is dealing with family matters. His grandmother passed away, so I want to do, as we start the show, 5 seconds of silence to honor his grandmother and for bringing him to this world. He's great assets to everyone. He's got a big heart. So Gaurav, if you're out there watching the show, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Grandma. I hope you rest in peace, and all my condolences. So here's the 5 seconds. Okay, well, thank you so much again. This show is going to be about conversation, is about thinking, and it's about planning life with intention, because we are, as you can see up above, we are in planning season. So if you're watching this live, please feel free to comment down below, leave comments, questions, or thoughts as we go along. And if you're watching this later, drop the comments down below in the section, either if it's YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. I take a look at all of them. I don't have an assistant. I take a look and try to answer all the questions, but I also I want to engage the people that are watching the show, and just let's start thinking, let's start planning this 2026, the year of change, the year of growth, the year of planning, and making this a better future for everyone involved, because we can do this together. As today I sit here solo, it feels like in a different way, it's not as engaging or energized. We need each other to support each other, to guide us, and to continue on in life. So yeah, put the comments down below. I'm always open-minded. I want to connect with people who are on the ground, who are experiencing life. We try to bring people on the show as well in this future. That's my plan. And I want to, gather the most minds to create solutions, because obviously my purpose here is to build a legacy with you, not with anybody else, but with the people that care the most about what's happening in the world. And that brings us to a little bit of a topic of what's going on. And I feel it out there. There's a lot of people at these times. It's when, we're not getting as much sun exposure. We're not getting as much of the livelihood that we're experiencing. But these are times to reflect and to really think about what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, what our goals are. So I hope you wrote down your goals. And I know technically I did it once back in a time. Technically, this is not the time to set goals, because but it's the time to plan. Like a lot of people have switched around, but they do interact with each other, and they're important. But it's time to plan, because without planning, you are not going to get to your achievement. It's not that you're going to take a journey. For example, you're going to go for a hike in the mountains, and you're going to take a hike without having a map, without having a compass, right? So planning is creating a strategy, a system that will get you there. And a lot of people have done what you want to do, but you haven't done what you want to do. So it's you got to experience it for yourself. and see where you want to go. Everybody has their own plans in life, and everybody, I think, they want to set up a legacy, and they want to be remembered, and also they want to leave something better, and that's the Buddha concept. Again, we don't have Gaurav here, but anyways, good morning out there. We have our first comment. Good morning to you, whoever you are. I'm sorry I can't see LinkedIn user, but thanks for joining. So yeah, there's a lot of economic uncertainty as we start the year. Probably you've heard it. I just don't want to emphasize it too much, but we got to be aware of it and not fearful, because if we're fearful, we're going to go into our reptilian brain and just try to run away from the issue. But if we actually are aware of it and we are calm in the mind, we can create the solution. So the solution is, for myself, I say, this is my opinions, but I have the opinion that we got to plan it, and we got to make sure that we have proper systems that will achieve our results. You can only control what's happening in your life. Your decisions, your goals are the ones that you can actually feel tangible. Everything else, like wars and things like that, I mean, I am grateful every day that we live in a country like Canada. Oh, by the way, yes, if you're watching this worldwide, I'm live from Headley, and Headley is in BC, which is in Canada. And Canada is one of the countries that offers so much freedom, but we take it for granted. But once we see outside of our world, and with technology nowadays, we can see like everywhere, and we have on ground people experiencing and sharing their experience in a sense. And my heart goes out to them, because there's places where we're still at war, and that is a different topic. But it's like, I want to make people aware that we live in a world with such a connectivity. We live in a world with AI that it's got like solutions for every problem, but we're still at war, or we're still trying to take others' country resources, other people, because a country is formed by the people. A home is formed by the people that live in the home, because all of these other things are just structural. That are just concepts that are in our mind, right? So it is just like, why are we doing this to each other, right? And so our choices now will affect other people, like the butterfly effect, right? Like if we want change in the world, I know we can't stop the war, but we can be a voice. We can be, hey, let's send a letter to our, prime minister, and just flood him up with questions, not just statements or opinion, just ask them questions. Hey, why are we financing these wars? Like, can we just be diplomatic and come to an agreement? Like, I mean, I'm in real estate and financial advising. There's no war there. I just, ask questions, find out what the problems are, and hopefully I can come up with a solution. And if I don't know anybody that can come up with a solution, I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows a solution, right? So, yeah, let's just be aware of it. And then let's start this year with the plan of making a change. Little changes, like this morning I was watching Mel Robbins and James Clear, Atomic Habits. If you haven't read it, go read it. But it was like, he focuses on the small changes, because every single change will compound. And compounding is like the God-given gift. Einstein calls it, like, it's an amazing, truly superpower that we all have if we apply it. So if we have goals and we just do little changes here and there, we can compile that change to overcome everything. And then obviously at the beginning, it's like the change curve, it's the log curve. It's like the simplest math diagram of life. It's like little changes. You never see the difference. You never see the difference until that time where it just shoots up and you'll never recognize yourself. So just start compounding, get better, even if it's not 1%. That's what James Clear says. Be just 1% better than you were before, and by the end of the year, you'll be 365 times better. So that's 3.5 times better, approximately. Oh, there's another comment. IMO. It starts with mindset fueled by dreaming, affirming energy, and self-image. Yes, 100%. 100% is like, it's all about mindset. It's all about also like, I want to get into this point, but then I want to get back to my quote today. But freedom is not guaranteed. Freedom is planned. And like our listener is saying, it's about the mindset. So you got a plan to have freedom in your life. You got a plan that you got to achieve your goals. And let me tell you, whenever you achieve something, there's nothing better than being like, wow, I did it. Like, in life, I did so much. I went to school, engineering, right? And it's 5 years. Well, I was actually, yeah, 5 years of drag. It was like studying, and it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. But at the time, I didn't know what stress was. You're like, you grow in your stages of life. And then once I graduated, I couldn't even believe it. Like, I had to pinch myself. It was just like something that, oh wow, I did it. This was my goal. I made it. I'm here. And it's like, sometimes it feels like, oh, and then you believe in yourself even more, because I'm like, okay, I'm an engineer. Wow, cool. Now I can get to, change the world, invent stuff, and make progress, right? And another comment is here: we must create our own economy, be in discomfort to grow, live in abundance to think bigger. Oh, for sure. I mean, as soon as you said this, LinkedIn user, thank you so much for that comment as well. I just thought about the plant, right? There's plants, if you don't expose them to stresses, the plant will grow slow, but also it won't grow strong. Like a tree is exposed to myriads of different variables like wind. And I'm looking at the tree outside as I'm talking about this, and he's just standing so tall and so big. But yeah, it's like, a tree stands within the wind, and it grows stronger, the flexibility. Same thing with our bodies. Like, if we sat in a chair all day long doing podcasts, for example, we would grow weak and probably fat. But if we keep moving, we stress our muscles, and we keep growing, that's what makes us harder, right? So, going back to the show, I want to ask you something. Do you feel like working hard, but you're still not sure if you're really getting ahead, even whatever it is, if it's financially, if it's spiritually as well? You're working hard at it, but where it is your target? If you can think about this for a minute and just leave the answer, or if you think about it in the future, go ahead, leave a comment below, and so forth. Love it. Oh, there's another comment here. Love it. Freedom is planned. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. And that's my opinion. It's my show. Thank you for watching it. So let's get started. This show is about the 3 plans every farmer needs: retirement, will, and legacy. This is not just for farmers, but it's also for other people, that entrepreneurs and business owners like myself. It's I call them the 3 plans, but I'm sure there is a lot of different sub plans and a lot of different things. But I want to just focus on these 3 because we don't have that much time. But also, I want to build something here. And so, when I say farmer, I say somebody that wants to build something. somebody that wants to produce value, somebody that wants to think long term, and somebody that cares about what's next. So this is a very passionate episode because I love planning and I'm big on it. And then when I reach my goals, I get to see what I've achieved. And it's also about it's not about like subduing to the fear, oh my god, what's going to happen. It's about having clarity. One of the practices that I've started this year, and with the help of my mentors, is that I live by the calendar, and that has done huge for me, because if I put it on the calendar, I'm able to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and this gets me to my goal, and then I can say no to the things that come in my life, like distractions. And let me tell you, I don't know about you, but us realtors, we get a lot of distractions. And I hope, leave in the comments what kind of distractions would you like to tone down. I'm not saying eliminate, because nothing gets eliminated overnight, but at least tone down. So before we go deeper, I want to explain something a little bit about the safe filing technique that my friend taught me. This is about like understanding how the show is going to go, so that we're not leaving anything out of the talk. So what we're going to talk about is retirement planning. We're going to talk a little bit about register plan, because right now it's RRSP season, RESP2, and RDSP. So we're going to talk about taxes, which is a passionate topic of mine, and where they come from and why we pay them. And then we'll go into will and estate planning, and then we'll finish up with legacy, which is not the last one, but legacy I want to leave it to the end, because it's where you think deeply in your heart, and where you see like where it goes, and what you can radiate, what kind of energy you can spread out there. So not in depth, but without pressure. Okay. So let's get going. And as all the shows, I want to bring in a quote of the day. The quote of the day: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So that's one of my favorite quotes. That's my all-time favorites, because whenever I come across somebody, whether it be in finance, or whether it be in real estate, whether it be in life for itself, I always tell these quotes, because when people are questioning, oh man, I should have bought a house, 10 years ago when they were 300,000, and then before that, oh, I should have bought a house 20 years ago when there were $100,000. And I'm like, well, if progression states that, doubling prices, or even like the compounding effect of an account, oh, I should have started this a long time ago, and then you get to retirement, should have, would have, but now is the best time. It's the same thing about farming, right? Like when I was planning the year, and this is the perfect time to plan the year, like how to use your soil, what kind of techniques you want to use, the composting, where you're going to get all the materials, what's happening with the equipment, what needs to get done, what plants, the seeds. So if you didn't have enough seeds saved up from the year before, what can I introduce? Last year, we would have reviewed like, okay, so we did good on the zucchinis, or we did good on the squashes. And so now it's time to plan what crops are we going to apply this time of the year, right? And so, but this also just doesn't apply to money. It applies to money as well, right? And like, oh, I should have saved more, right? Just make a small goal. Start with $100. Oh, I want to save up $100 in my first home buyer savings account. and then go from there and just make that 1% increment, because the more you do it, the more you start getting rewarding yourself with self-satisfaction, where you can actually see yourself, visualize your future self, and talk to it and be like, okay, you did it. Yeah, you saved up. Now you have $1,000 towards your next home, right? So, okay, so let's get into it. I know this applies to a lot of different things, but there's also a limit on time, and I do have this planned, the show planned, and so I don't want to overcome the fear, the loss of actually saying what I wanted to say and how I want to make this an impactful show. Another comment here: have a progressive overload plan. See our life from 10,000 feet. Yeah, that's right. Visualize yourself on 10,000 feet, distance, time, whatever works with you, right? Like whatever you see fit in your life, and visualize yourself, externalize, and then you can see all the variables, everything that is affecting you, the distractions, the ways you want to go, your goals. You got to visualize. I was at the mastermind on Friday with my friends. We are the only animal on this planet that can visualize, that can have the vision for the future and make that future happen. Every other animal just lives on the variables and the obstacles that they have to surmount, right? And they live on habits. So like a horse, goes and grazes and follows the herd, and the stallion makes sure that everybody's following the leading mare, right? And a lot of people don't know this about horses, but it's the mare that leads and the stallion that follows and makes sure that everybody in the herd he's the lookout, right? And so it's the leading mare, it's that female energy that leads, right? So we gotta find our female energy and go towards that. Okay, let's get into the next topic here is taxes. Okay, so if I asked you, if someone took 40% of your crop, would you ask why? Why did you take it? If someone took 40% of your equipment, would you ask why? Okay, so I know where this is leading, but when somebody takes 40% of your income, do you ask why? Where does it go? And and it's just not, this is obviously, it's for income taxes. I know if you're watching this worldwide, maybe your country is different. Maybe if you're in Italy, it's a different story. When I left, my stepfather complained about how many taxes there were there. I think there was, at the time we left, about 200 taxes on different things. But now here in Canada, as we see, they pretty much caught up to that sort of standard. We don't pay as much taxes, but still we pay taxes. And nobody asks for, like the governments create these budgets, right? Like they create, like budgets for showing how everything is expended. But then at the end of the year, they go, oh, we went over budget. Okay, so who's accountable for that? If that was coming out of their pockets because they didn't do any good job, they would not be getting paid. And guess what? What happens when a hockey team loses? Who's the first person that gets replaced? The coach, right? So what happens when a country loses money or goes in negative? Shouldn't we replace the leader straight away? I don't know. That's my 2 bits there. But we pay income tax. We pay sales tax here. Well, this is again for Canada, right? Sales tax, GST. We pay taxes on fuel. We pay taxes on goods. We pay taxes on services. We pay property taxes. Levies on natural and mineral resources. A lot of people don't know that, right? Industries pay the government for the use of the natural resources like water, and Canada is full of them. We should be the richest country in the world. But again, it goes down to leadership, right? Nobody has, well, I haven't seen a country leader in Canada in the 30 plus years that I've been here that has done a, a, a great job with finances, with keeping the country up and being in the positive. So, um, what so the question goes, what is income tax actually for? Because this is the one that we feel the most, and it's coming up, right? It's coming up in April. So I asked myself these questions, and it was brought up to me when I watched another YouTube and podcast. But is it for the roads? No, because the fuel tax pays for that. Is it for the schools? No, because that's the property taxes. It's right there. They tell us. So I just want to say, like, I'm not against taxes. Taxes have a place. I'm just saying, if we don't question it, then we can't really plan for it, right? Because we'll see how this connects in at the show. But I just want to understand them, because where freedom lies and where freedom is planned is taking use of what the systems that are there that you can implement because other people have implemented to better your financial future, your life, and even your spiritual sense, right? Like sense of accomplishment, sense of purpose. So, and another one thing is, the most expensive thing in your life is ignorance, right? So, have you ever, my question is here today to the audience, to the future audience, have you ever actually questioned why income tax exists? Or have you just accepted it because everybody's doing it? I'm not saying, hey, don't pay your taxes, but just let's sit together. Let's come on the show. Let's talk about this, because there's some pretty interesting point. I mean, if you go and research where they come from, what are they used for, you'll start to realize and start thinking. And this is where I want to start. But this is not part of the show. This is probably another part of the show. But there's another comment here. To make 1 million, shoot for 2, and you will 1 million by accident. Love that. Yes. And again, I'm picturing this archer. I love archery, and I love it how you by practicing and planning, because again, the brain is such a beautiful machine. So if you plan for the arrow to hit the target, and your target, say it's 1 million, but in order for going that distance, because that 1 million is a pretty far distance in archery, you have to shoot the arrow up, like if you were aiming to 2 million, and then the forces of gravity, or let's say the taxes or any other forces, will make that arrow come down, but you still hit your target where you want to be. And that's a great comment, because that will get us into the context of our RSP. So these were created obviously by the governments, and I don't know. I guess in the states is IRA, but it's where governments wanted to have the people saving their money, right? So to create long-term stability, and to actually have less reliance, people would have less reliance on the government system and services. So they create these retirement savings plans so that the public and the people can actually save in there at a constant rate. And obviously, they offer benefits in a sense of deferring the taxes, right? And we all don't like to pay the taxes. And that's why I said you got to know where they're going, because in order to create that freedom, you need to know how to use the tools that are available out there. And so RSPs is one of the tools that we have. These tools they don't create the freedom, but understanding them and how to apply them is what's important, right? And this is all about, educating. This channel is about educating and understanding where can we take this teachings, right? So the RRSP is actually a tax deferral, and some people view it. I myself, I am a believer because it offers. I'm split on this, and I want to get your opinion as well, because it's important to see each other's perspective. But I'm split because yes, it helps you save, and it helps you getting more of the income that you worked hard for it, and it lowers, like here in Canada, it lowers the income rate, so you become at a lower rate with the more money you defer and the more money you save up. Now, the growth in the account is still taxed. Everything is still taxed at a future date. And that date is when you start taking them out. So, not to say that hopefully, I mean, obviously, hope it's not going to change too much, but hopefully it's not going to affect your future self. But definitely you want to plan for that as well, because you don't want to start saving up and then have different systems. Because I'm going to go into a scenario that a lot of people are actually experiencing. We have a very high level of demographics is the baby boomers, and they're going into retirement right now. And some of them have passed the age of 71. Why do I say 71? Because the age of 71 is when the government not forces you, but has made it mandatory that you have to take out the funds from your RSP. So what happens there is, so you worked for your company, you have put money into CPP, unless you're an entrepreneur and you haven't done anything to think about retirement, which if you haven't, please talk to me. Anyways, you have a CPP saved up. That's going to create an income, and that income will reflect a little bit of what you have experienced. Maybe it's at a percentage, maybe it's not the full amount, but you're still getting an income from that. And let's say you're getting 30,000, right? 30,000, you sit at a non-taxable bracket. Now you're being forced to take out money from your RSP accounts, and they force you, minimum is 25,000. Now you have an income of $55,000. Then now you enter the 40% bracket, right? And what happens then? Then at 40%, you're going to have less income than if you actually didn't have that RSP. So that's why I'm saying you have to plan long time or short time. It depends, right? And there is techniques and tools, like, for example, the other day with Gaurav, he sets up these meetings and we talk about different things. And obviously the trending topic now is RSPs. And we talked about the meltdown of RSPs, which I can give you in short. And I tried to summarize because and get the key concepts, but it's pretty much like taking out your RSPs early because you have planned that this is how much I've saved up. This is how much I'm going to pay if I stay in this tax bracket. Well, I'll be forced to pay. Okay, I got to melt this down. I got to take my RSP and lower them over the course of the time that I have. So you can start taking out your RSPs at 60 years old. So now you can take out loans on those RSPs. This is not for everyone. You can start taking loans out on those RSPs, and at the end, when they do your estate, those loans will get repaid. But at least loans are tax free, and also they are you can deduct the interest that you pay on those loans. Okay, so if you want to know more about that, please reach out, give me a call. I'll leave all the information down below, and we can go into that. The next topic is RESP. This is savings for the education of your kids, and this is foremost an important plan if you have kids and you are planning them to for them to go to school. I myself, I don't, I don't believe in the schooling system too well because again, it's being manipulated and it's being, contorted. But I do plan, and this is one of my dreams and goals, is to create a school of entrepreneurs and get together. And it's a free school. It's a place where the teachers work there for free and help out. And the teachers are people that have done it. They know the technique, that they have did the grind. Like I want to bring in teachers if they were as it was today, like Elon Musk. Like he would be a good teacher on efficiency, vision, and I would bring in like Alex Hormozy and James Clear, Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins, teachers like that have such an essential part of making this world like a fantastic world and inspirational, so that it gets you motivated. Because I see my kids, they go to school in Carabios, and they're very smart, but they're demotivated. Like we are going, and comment if you have kids that are going into the skills, but we're going at the lowest denominator, because obviously as a group, as a society, we're trying to include everyone. And so the system is failing the people that could be stars, because if you're lowering your standards and what you learn is not something pertaining, or it's just so slow, because also it's slow, the system is slow, it's not, it's just dragging anyways. But I just wanted to say that, okay, the schooling system, you can have different opinions, but there is the RSP. And if you're planning for your kid, this is great because the government gives you grant, it gives you purpose, it gives you alignment, right? Another one is the RDSP. And we're seeing this quite come up a little bit now, because this is a plan for saving in retirement, where the government also gives you grant if you were exposed to disabilities. I mean, I can do another show if you guys want about this, because it's pretty a broad spectrum. But as we can see out there, more and more people are getting disabled, whether it be high sight or hearing or mental issues, problems. Mental health is big nowadays, because again, it's about mindset. It's about people don't have a clear purpose. We're just living a life of like, is this it? I don't know about you, man. It's like I've been coming across people that are just like, not have given up, but they're just like, is this it? This is what I'm supposed to do? Go to work, come home, eat, sleep, and then do it, repeat and rinse. Like no purpose there. And I'm just saying, like find your purpose, find what drives you. We have the technology to do that. And also just we have the ways to plan for this, right? To get unstuck And this ties back to the mental issue and how there's many people out there that don't have a clear purpose. And I know you do. I know you have a clear purpose because everybody does, man. We are here to love and experience life. We were given this gift. So just push along and be pulled. Get in contact if you need help with people, with your peers. Ask your friends. Don't be shy. It's not the time to be shy. We've got such a connectivity. You know, my phone is going off as I'm doing this podcast. You know, like people want to reach you. People want to talk to you. It's about, oh, another quote from A Good Life, from the book The Good Life. Life is about having good relationship. Then you can have a happy life. Okay, so the next topic that I wanted to talk about was wills and estate, and this is a big one. I mean, we talked about it before in the show, but it's it's uh, it's okay. What we talked about with the RSPs is what happens when you're living this life in this system in the so-called matrix, right? But what happens when you're gone? What people do you affect? Who's going to take care of everything else, right? And you have control of that too. And the most amazing tool to have that control is the will. Um, the will per se is not for you, but it's for the people that you care about, and it's for your, it's called in biblical terms, is the last testament. It's how you want to leave that legacy, right? It's like, how do you want the state, how do you want it to be divided? That's, again, it comes into planning, right? How do you plan this to go forward, you know? And if you don't have a will, again, reach out, because and have a conversation too. And don't think that a will, oh my God, I can't afford a will, right? Again, now we have such great tools, and some of them are almost free. Obviously, you know, there's people working in behind and registering and everything like that, so you do have to pay for something, but you can do them online. And one of the first things I say when somebody buys real estate from me is, like, I ask them the question, you must, because it's my duty, right? As a real estate agent, it's my duty to tell them that you must update your will, because now you have an asset put into your estate, and you don't want the state to be taken control by the government. The government is not going to make the decision for you, is not going to make the decision for your legacy. The government is going to do what's best for the government. And at one time, I believe that we could have been saying that the government was for the people, but at this time, I have lost all faith into the government. So I'm just saying the government will do what's best for the government, not for the people. And you can do what's best for the people around you, the people, even the people that you haven't met. You can donate your estate, and that would be even better than just giving it to the government, because with a donation, guess what? You get to know where your money's going. Like, say you want to donate it to saving all the orcas, or donate it to the whale foundation and save the whales, or the turtles, or whatever, right? Whatever you connected to in this life, the dogs, cats, whatever, horses, whatever foundation you connect to, give all your money there. And some people think that way because it's like, hey, I made this, I worked hard for this, I don't want to give it to my kids, I don't want my kids to be spoiled, and they have to build it their own, which is, that's another concept. We can discuss that later too. And that can also give prospect to your kids. Be like, okay, I had all this money. I made it. I showed you how to do it. Now you go do it yourself. I'm donating this to a cause that sits in my heart. And well, that's perfect because that brings into the legacy. The will is connected to the legacy. A will is your last statement. It's so powerful. And even if you don't want to, like, even if you don't want to register it, even if you don't want to, do it properly, like the government says, it's just take a piece of paper, write it down, put this, put the statement. Okay, my car, my cell phone, my pictures, put it there. And even by doing that, you realize, what am I leaving? Like, you can find out. I believe that, and that was one of the things, is like, when I wrote my first will, and obviously it updates from there. But when I wrote my first will, I was like, wow, like, I'm leaving something behind. Who's it going for, right? And obviously at the time it was my wife, because I wanted her to be secured, right? To be, uh, and we did this when we did the presentation for the insurance and what we do, and how to leave, a better life for your kids, or not just a better life, a more setup. Like, they still have to experience it, they still have to live it, but at least they have tools and the energy. Money is power and an energy. They have the energy to continue and do the fulfillment of their purpose, right? So where do you want to leave that energy, right? And let me tell you, just write the will, because I don't want you, again, it's a personal opinion, but I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to you, and you're here with me because you resonate with what I think. But it's like, where do you want that energy to go? Where do you see it fit? And that's, again, that's planning, right? Plan. It's not an event that is going to come soon. And even if it comes soon, you want to think about this in a clear, sober decision making mind, because I have experienced, also, this brings another story to my mind. And yeah, we got a little bit of time. This brings it to a friend of mine that got caught with a disease, and he rushed to get his will because he knew what would happen to all his tools, the houses he had, everything. So he rushed into the decision, and then he started consulting his family members, and he started feeling bad while he was dealing with the struggles of the discomfort, right? And he just messed him up, because also he wasn't feeling in a clear mind. It was like, this is the end. This is like confusion. I saw confusion. I saw poor, like, and my heart goes out to him. But because of him, I am so grateful that I've experienced that, because I can bring it out to the world that this could happen to you, and I don't want it to happen to you. Because when you have to settle in and you have to confront that this is your last few days on this planet, I don't want you to plan. Then it's you have to come together and be happy and die in peace, right? Because that's important, right? And but let's talk about something a little bit more upbeat and energizing. And I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to put a fun tone to that, but the tough talks that need to happen, the tough talks with yourself, the tough talks in your mindset, and like what we started the show, it's about mindset. You got to fuel that dream. You got to bring that energy. And I don't know about you, and I always ask myself this question: is does our vision brings us energy, or is the energy that brings our vision, right? Or do they come both together? It's like, oh, I'm so stoked, I want to work on this, I know I'm going to achieve this goal, like, and then you're energized and then you do it and then that gives you back? Is it a reverse loop? I don't know. What do you think about that? So I want to go back to or go forward, move forward to legacy. So legacy for some people means different things. It could mean, or maybe you don't have a meaning for it. You just taking somebody's opinion, you look it up on the vocabulary, and then you're like, oh, legacy, you know. But when you hear that word, what does it mean for you? For me, it's setting goals, creating goals that are amazing and like you think they're unreachable, but they're consistent. They're like they're setting up the future. Like leaving a legacy feels so heroic, like you're the hero of your story. You have come to your superpowers, and over your lifetime you have created this energy, this aura around you, and now you're leaving it for somebody. You're leaving it to create this power, right? And I'm making this statement here and now, and one of my legacies that I want to leave is I want to plant in this lifetime 1 million trees. I want to say the benefit of trees. I love fruit. Fruit is one of my major staples. I don't know if you know that about me, but trees give you fruit. So that's a gift. That's an amazing gift. And fruit gives you energy. They give you the sugar. We can go and analyze the whole thing, but then they give you oxygen. Oh my God. This very air that I breathed, it was created in symbiosis with myself. We got the symbiotic loop that a tree offers, right? And then trees give you shade from those heavy sunny days, even though I love the sun, but sometimes you want to take a break, and they give you shade, and they create these, like nesting places for birds and insects, and they're kind of like the storage of life. And then what do they do to the soil? They give back to the soil. They grow mushrooms, and then there's a life underneath the soil that unbelievable what a tree does. So that is my legacy. This is what I want to leave. This is one of them. And if I was to pass on tomorrow, I want the donation is to compound, and in the future to create a foundation, plant 1 million trees if I can't achieve that. So that is the plan. That's the power of planning, right? That's the power of vision. That's the power of thinking. There's another comment. You're doing great. Testament. I believe in living your legacy. Yes. Be your future self now. Great book by the same title. Yes. That's, I know who you are. Be your future self. Here's one of my mentors suggested this book, and it's a fantastic book. Top of my list, because it gives you vision, and it gives you a purpose, and it's like sit down, and I love meditating, and I sit down with myself, and it's like, okay, I'm going to talk to my future self. What I'm going to be 5 days from now, 7 days. What am I going to be a year from now? What same time, different year? What am I going to be doing? Am I going to be doing the podcast? Am I going to be, talking to people around the world? Oh, by the way, plugging it in right now. I'm starting another YouTube channel, and it's going to be about real estate. It's going to be about getting into the culture, the different cultures, because at EXP, we're international, we're global. And because we're getting into those markets, I don't know much about real estate in India or much about in Japan, but I know real estate in Italy and I know real estate in Canada, and I don't even know real estate across the provinces. But what I want to start is what real estate really means for different cultures and people, and how to create a home and space. So I will start a podcast. I will bring on interviews, experts, and regular people, and just ask them about real estate and what do they see in their life, and to just create a world of like, again, the possibility of leaving a legacy, right? Um, and a future for future generations. I mean, like, uh, going back to East Indian, because Gaurav is a good friend of mine, but I see like how family oriented they are, and they build these massive homes, but they're massive because they have so many family members, and it's they feel like it's their duty. And on one of the shows, Gaurav actually mentioned that he was like, the parents invest on their kids, they invest on their education, and obviously, like, we have the different tools, but they invest on their education because the kids are their retirement plan. It's not something that it's like a must or forced, like, but it's a cultural aspect where it's like, yeah, of course, I'm going to take care of my parents. I'm not going to send them to a home or see their, their wealth that they've accumulated just eaten up. No, they stay in the family. We're going to create, like, maybe like create a little cabin on the property, stay far enough, but close enough to monitor, right? Like, and they can spend their life with the family, and bring in their wisdom that they collected over the years, right? Because everybody has wisdom. Everybody is sucking it in, knowledge and experiences and stories, like, sit down with grandma and have a good story with her, right? So we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, we have another comment here. What a beautiful journey, legacy, planting 1 million trees. Shoot for two. Oh, love it. Thank you for that. I'm laughing. Okay. Well, you heard it here. My goal has just now doubled because it's 2 million trees in my lifetime. So I'll take it for that. Now it's sealed. Now it's all over the internet. Rico has promised to plant 2 million trees. What a guest. I'm gonna start the Instagram show, and I'm gonna find out ways. Oh, or please comment ways of how I can do that, and how will I achieve my goal, because I haven't thought about it too much either. But now that we're at 2 million, um, thank you so much for tuning in. It's I hope this helped. I hope this inspired you for starting to plan. If you want to reach out to me, I'm on YouTube under Freedom, Financial Freedom with Rico. I'm on YouTube with Living on the Okanagan. I'm on LinkedIn. If you're watching this from LinkedIn, connect with me. Shoot me a brief message. Hey, I loved your show. Oh, I hated your show. You talk too much. Just shoot me. Let's connect. If you're watching this on Facebook, thank you so much for watching. My phone number, I could leave it here. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll leave it. It's 236-457-4230. Area code is 1 for Canada. Please talk to us. Yes. There's a couple more comments coming in. Thank you. Oh, no, thank you. It's all about you. It's all about the people that are watching this and commenting. I love the comments. And we're going global. Yes, of course we're going global. You're going global. We're going global. It's Let's shrink those lines. Let's shrink the world and make it a better place. Leave this world a better place. Again, this was Farmers in Finance, episode 17, the 3 pillars of planning. I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave comments down below if you're watching this later. Thank you for watching this far. I really appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. I will keep tuned on my channels, different channels. I will post it later. What we're going to talk about. Hopefully, Gaurav will come back on the show. Again, thank you again for watching. Have a great day. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic year. Talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye bye.